Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I'm your host. Welcome back to Space Engineers, and I'm your host, Quantum Tater. So last time we started the process of getting this thing to fly. Oh, also, hello. We started the process of getting this thing to do what we wanted it to do, traveling from this point to our iron mine refinery. However, there was a little bit of complications, and also my last video had a weird loop at the end of it. I think that's corrected now, so sorry about that. Sorry about the wonky edits. Lord Chaos from an episode before this said we needed to put up a zero days since incident sign near the pond strider because I keep blowing the cargo containers off. And he said hopefully one day we'd get to more than one day. I agree. Hopefully we will get to more than one day. Um, so, and also for the last episode where we did the initial setup for this, um, Chad had brought up a couple of good points, primarily that that we don't have a way to get this thing to auto drain cargo yet. That's a problem that we have to source at some point, how to get this thing to suck cargo up and go. Also, the batteries, maybe setting it up so that it won't launch unless it has enough battery power to do so. So that's a couple of things we need to look at trying to set up. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really sure on the how to get it to not launch. How to get it to not launch from how to get it to not launch while the battery's at a certain charge level. So what we're gonna do, I gotta think about that, but we're gonna do a quick time lapse. My plan right this second is I'm going to mount this guy. I'm gonna mount this guy. Sorry about that. Whoa, moving a little fast. My plan right this second is we're going to get this guy mounted up on top of our thing right here. And the reason we're putting this here is I'm going to make some changes, and we're going to do a time lapse for the changes I'm making. So there we go. Real quick, let's grab the batteries for this. I'm going to call these Mule Battery, or Mule Bat for short. We'll go here, and we'll just go ahead and say groups. Mule Bat, recharge on and off. We will park it, and then we'll put this thing on charge. So it can charge. So I'm not really sure how to set this up so that it doesn't do what we think it might do in terms of, so we can set it up, say, hey, don't fly away until you have enough battery power to do so. Or like if your battery's below a certain percentage, don't fly. I don't know how to set, I know how to set that up on a standard thing, but not on, like I know how to set up an event controller, right, that says set the thing to charge and all of those things. And I know how to set it up in, yeah, I think the problem is I don't know how to set that up. That is going to be the issue. I am not sure how to set that up to get it to do what we want.
Inventory full.
All right. You know what there is? I don't know if did we create the Bob grind color? Let's go find out real quick. Bob, did we? All right, Barb, I need to check your grind color. This is well before grind. Pick grind color 316, 100, 100. We did. Okay, perfect. That's not what I meant to do. Oh, that was nearly bad for all parties involved. Don't allow. How do I turn that off? I don't think there's a way to turn that off. Basically, you can't toggle. You should be able to turn off park. I don't want that. I don't want that to be able to be toggled, but I can't do that anyway. So let's go back to Barb. Sorry. Oh no, we had what we needed. So Barb's color is this right here, 316, 316. So if I paint all this, Bob should, or Barb rather, should grind that away and repair whatever was broken up there. I assume. Unless there's something else to weld up over there, it's very possible that there is something else to weld up. So Barb may not be interested in helping me in my endeavors currently. But what we're going to do, anyways, my plan is we're going to move this,
Inventory full.
we're going to move this out a little ways so that we're going to move this out a little ways so that I can have better clearance around the building. So we're going to time lapse that. So I'll probably start the time lapse right about now. So real quick, before I start time lapse, my plan is this. We're going to scoot this out a little ways so it's got clearance around this building. It doesn't have to mess with that. So I'm going to bring it out a little bit. That's my first thought. And then we're probably going to run over to the iron mine and do the same thing. We're going to move that to the other side so we have a better clearance and can kind of get that stuff done. So we're going to time lapse the base building parts of this just to get that knocked out and kind of get it out of the way. And then from there, we will, I will return to you guys and we will go back to the testing of that thing. And then maybe by then my brain will come up with a solution that will give me the answers I need with regards to, figuring out what we're going to do with the bloody, how to get it to pull cargo in. Initially, my thought was put a sorter on the iron mine side of things, put a sorter there, and that sorter would then be able to, the sorter would be able to push stuff into the system, but that doesn't appear to be the case. At least as far as I've been able to tell, I've not been able to get it to do that. So we're gonna put yellow on a cargo container, and then I know there's a couple things we need to do. So anyways, so we're going to start the time lapse right about now. I'm going to get this expanded. I'll go to the other side, get that expanded. I'll probably talk in between. So starting right now. And we're back. That was a weird circumstance. I don't know what just happened. Barb seems to have lost their mind and started grinding a thing that was not painted the color I thought it was. So we need to verify that. So use grind color, pick grind color, and that is supposed to be 316. Nope, 316. Oh, oh my goodness, we're having troubles here. 316, 100, 100 should be the grind color. Pick grind color. Nope. Okay. I know what happened now. I think I know what happened now. Anyways, so set build color. Set. Okay. Oh, I did it again. I did it again. Okay, we need to not be that color, whatever color we want to do. Okay, so that was weird. So Bob started grinding stuff I didn't want him to grind, but I had to move this. I realized that the connection was right there, so now I should be able to get all my stuff. I relocated. I wanted to really quick relocate the med bay and get rid of the survival kit, so did some piping, moved this down here so it's protected from up there, and then we, of course, over here we have we can just let me go grab this color real quick. Grab this right here. We're going to come down here and I just need to grab the blocks for this. Bada boom, bada bing. Set that there. Not only does this give us the propped up look we wanted it to go, like so that it's not just floating completely, which I need to prop up this side too. I tell you what, we'll just go ahead and do that now. Oh, don't have enough. Go grab me another block here. So what I was trying to do, I just wanted to move that out some, like I said. It was bothering me that it was so floaty. So that's what I did. I moved this out. I changed it up a little bit. I gave it some structure feel, and then I gave this another cargo point because why not have a little extra storage? I thought that would be a good idea. And so now we can take this guy up here. We are going to put him back off that. I'm going to undock, and we're going to bring him down to his new location right here. And then press 9. Go ahead and keep him on charge. I can move this thing off of the roof. I do not need this up here anymore. That was just temporary anyways. Get that moved off. Okay, so the next step, we're going to take the pawn strider and we are going to run out to the iron mine and we are going to knock some stuff out there. So let's move this guy out a little bit, park for a second, and then let's grab some components. What do we need? We're going to need, I imagine we're going to want some iron plates, but first and foremost, let's go ahead and grab us some of these. I don't know how many we want of those, so we're just going to grab a couple. We're going to try to grab maybe one sorter block worth of stuff, just because I think that might be the solution we want. And then, what else do we need? You know, probably some plates. Definitely some plates. All right, I think that should be good. I think that should be enough stuff to kind of get us routed. We already have stuff over there. We're just going to go pop over real quick and take a look-ski and maybe remodel this. So that's my plan. I'm going to get these things set up so that the docking is a little bit more easy. And so we're going to cut to another time lapse here in a couple of seconds. And kind of go through getting these things set up so that when we decide to mess with them, or like when we decide to do the drone and reprogram the flight coordinates, what it's going to behave a little better than what previously was happening. I think another thing we might want to do at some point, and I haven't decided this 100% yet, but it may be time to potentially add additional, what do you call it? Maybe some extra iron mines, like dump out to another iron drill that's processing like right here, and see if maybe we can increase the production of this iron mine. But let's do this first. Let's go and get this thing set up the way we want it to be, and then we will go from there. And yeah, I will grind these down. Go put this stuff back in there. Okay, so what I want to do first, there it is. Grab that color right there. We're going to do, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do piping first. Yeah. All right, so here starts the time lapse now. All right, that is it. That is it for the speeding out. Like obviously this isn't completely finished, but it's good enough. It's further away from that. I think this is what we're gonna want to do. Um, I think, yeah, I think this is where we're gonna want to be.
Inventory full.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna plop that guy into there, make sure. I think I'm gonna change one little aspect right here. So obviously that'll need to be welded out, but so I think this is it. This is going to be the new thing. So let's go ahead and get the rest of this stuff home. Let's grab some more iron. We're going to leave some in there. We're going to leave it in there so that we have something for our drone to pick up. That's what we're going to do. Alrighty. Let's take this junk home. Bow, bow. All right, so now that the two time lapses are over and we've kind of reoriented those bases, um, I think now would be an excellent time to attempt to do what I was saying. I think we'll reprogram the drone. He should be fully charged right now. And then we are, as Chad pointed out, we are definitely going to have to come up with a solution that fixes whether or not he's going to be able to actually whether he's going to be able to actually pick up the stuff. But that's okay. That is okay. So first, let's get our two home blocks. Let's get our blocks. This guy, we're going to clear all waypoints, and we're going to clear all waypoints. So delete all waypoints. Perfect. Okay, so the first one we're going to do, I think, we're going to do to mine, which if we look at our menu here, this is to record the play to mine, and this is to set the timer, or this is to set those waypoints. So to mine, first we need to unlock. We need to make sure everything is off charge. So we're going to fly up, and the first waypoint for to mine is going to be here. And then we're going to haul booty. Haul booty over here. Up. We did not stop quick enough. Back it up. And then we're going to do here. Here. And last but not least, once we're centered up there, turn off the engines and here. All right, so that's the to mine. The to mine has been set. Perfect. Now we're going to set the other one. So to set the next guy, we're going to make sure that we lift up a little bit. Oh goodness, lift up. We're going to say here is the first waypoint for going to home. Get some speed up. Slow it down a little bit. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. And then I wish I'd stopped tilting forward like that. Kill the engines, set the last waypoint, and then turn the engines back on. All right, perfect. So that's that. Now we go into the, let's turn off the engines for a second. We'll turn this off. We're going to go into here. We're going to say to home. The to home point, the first waypoint, we need to make sure that we set up an action, and the action is to play after launch. Start. Okay. And then on the last waypoint, set up action, we're going to connect. Start connect timer. Okay, and then the to mine, same thing. We're going to, on the first waypoint, we are going to set up action after launch, set start. And then on the last waypoint, we are going to set up action and connect. Play connect. Start. All right, here we go. All things have been done. We are connected. So the first thing we need to do is hit 8. Go into here. We go into our event controller because we need to. And we say, we're going to set this to 10% just so we can get an idea. We're going to say equal to lesser to, greater than, and then we should be hearing the timer. We are. Beautiful. I'm glad we're hearing the timer. And here we go. We're doing what we're supposed to do. I would like for you to point at the... No? You don't want to? Okay. You do you, boo. I don't know why you're... This seems a really weird way to fly, but again, you do what you want to do. That seems like a good idea. And we may speed this up too. All right. And start time lapse for this thing going slower than molasses now. Okay, coming in for a landing. Starting the timer for landing block. We are connected. Hey, there we go. Now, come here and we say, okay, ship container medium. Oh, you know what I need to do? Part of the things, by the way, I need to go into this event controller. And one of the things that the saddle cockpit, this needs to be removed. This does not, that doesn't matter for the 10% piece of it. So now, come here. We see the cargo. We check over here. 8,000. We're gonna plop that right there. All right, it's full, and you hear the next timer. You hear the go home timer starting. It's still connected, so go home starts. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, now the timer for after launch is going. I didn't think about making this drone sort of omnidirectional, but this is working quite well. And now it's turned the connector back on. The other thing we need to do, I feel like on the move block, we need to change some things. I think the precision mode is causing us a little bit of problems, and I also feel like we can pop this up to like 45 meters a second. That's what I think. So we're going to try that. This is already going a little better just because, but we're still only doing about 13 meters a second. And in theory, not Bob, I'm sorry, in theory, Ziggy, good grief, in theory, the Izzy's control block should 100% dump out the ore that is in this thing, which we can see is 8,000 iron, which is great. So it should 100% dump out the moment it gets there. So here's a moment of truth. Will it in fact land without blowing up? And it looks like it's doing a great job. I think moving that out a little bit has helped. I also like the way it looks better than the other one. I think, in my opinion, it looks better. It's interesting this thing, oh, we are coming down quick. Look at that. And then we start the timer for the connect. I wonder if timer connect, I think we could make this thing connect a little quicker. And now that the cargo, so this absolutely worked. So here's the problem. We're taking off again. So the problem that I have is now to make the base automatically dump the ore in, and as Chad said, figure out, because the battery is going to keep getting lower and lower as this thing floats about like this, and it's just going to keep going until it dies. So how on earth do we I'm gonna lose audio for a brief second, at least game audio, because I want to check something. How on earth do we briefly how do we hmm. So another 1 to 2 seconds. How do we set up a delay so that it doesn't kill itself battery wise? Eventually there's not going to be ore for it to take, so it's going to be fine. Look at that. Perfect landing. No problem. I think the connection timer could easily I think we could easily take the connect timer and drop that down, probably to like, we'll call it 5 seconds. I think that'd be okay. Go home's 10 seconds, that's fine. Delay after launch. Now, this one could also be 5 seconds. I think the problem is, how do we set up another thing that says don't launch if, that'd be an event controller. So we'd need an event controller. Let's just look at the event controller. Let's do that. All right. Event controller, event controller. Event controller. So cargo filled percentage. So if we did a secondary event controller that basically said if battery, hmm, if if stored power is less than 40%, turn off first event controller, which is what sends it back and forth. I think that could work. I think that could work. Um, So this thing's just going to sit here forever. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run back home real quick. I'm going to grab the stuff for a small event controller. And I mean, ultimately build a secondary event controller, see if that fixes the thing that we need it to fix. So, um, where's my event controller? I need a small bad boy, one of these. Yes. Okay, and I'm gonna grab some more of the juice. I like how quickly, I love that refills our stuff so quickly. So we're gonna get this secondary event controller. We're gonna get it on here real quick, and we're gonna see if maybe this will do the battery thing. But then, so this fixes only one of our problems, right? This fixes this fixes only one of the problems. And this event controller, we're gonna call this one um, battery event controller. Okay, so going to here, an event, battery event controller. We're gonna say if the battery, if stored power is less than, and we're gonna say 35%, less than 35%, and then select actions. We are going to turn off this block and then turn it back on. So that's how that's going to work. Okay. And then if really quick, we go in here and we say your ship cargo, and do we have anything to put in here? We do not have enough to get this thing to take off again. So this is just going to have to build some stuff up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back to base. I'm going to leave this guy hanging out. We're going to run back to base and maybe grab the pawn strider. Actually, I think we have a successful, I think we have a successful thing. So let's go ahead, and what if we trigger, we're going to trigger to mine. So we're going to trigger this. It's not going to work. No, we're going to, okay. So event, I want to, oh, timer, I know, duh. So, okay, timer, we're going to do go home. We're going to start the go home timer. And that should do everything it's supposed to do. Come on, tick down. There we go. We're going home. So successful. This is successful though, right guys? We got it to go from point A to point B. It's doing exactly what we want it to do now. It's doing it cleanly, relatively fast. Look at it, it's cruising. I love that. That's great news. Um, it's going to immediately go back and forth. This thing should be broadcasting pretty substantially. So while it's being a little pain in my butt, at the very least, we're going to get to see it go back and forth a couple of times. Thanks for the ride. I appreciate that, Mule. You're a hero, scholar, and a gentleman. So now it's just to let it go. Ooh, Jiminy crickets. It's all about scooting. The connect timer should be much quicker now. It should very quickly. There we go. And then we'll see. It's just going to keep running, and then if it's obviously going to go back to the mine base and just sit there permanently. But I think that's going to be it, guys. I think that's going to be it for today. We've got it successfully set up. That is how to get it to do. Now the next piece, obviously, is for me to figure out how to get it to. I guess the battery percentage was not low enough. Huh. Interessante. I don't know. We'll figure that out. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's gonna be this one. I know it's another short one. We got to successfully do what we wanted to do. I've got to figure out exactly how to get the other base to dump cargo. In 17, Jeremy TR1. I meant to say this at the beginning. Jeremy said that I should use Pam, the Pam script to ferry resources, and I have not ever had success with Pam, but this has given me the thoughts like, oh, maybe it's time to give Pam a go and see if it's something that we like. So that may be something we do. If I can't find a solution to get the base to properly dump cargo into our thing and send it on its merry way, then the next step will obviously be to figure out another solution for that. I also wanted your guys' thoughts. Let me know. Just give me some thoughts here. I was thinking about going and starting to build a hydrogen. I need to build up a hydrogen base down on the lake. I need to build up a hydrogen refinery, and then I thought about basically building up, starting to build up our very first what do you call it? Our very first flyer. I wanted to build a hydrogen flyer, specifically a miner to take us to space and start getting some of those resources from space, i.e., uranium, platinum, etc. So I was thinking about that coming up in the next couple episodes. I know that our little mule is not completely worked out just yet, but the ferry part's done. It's just about figuring out how to get the cargo to upload. And so I'm going to be looking into solutions for that. If anybody has a solution for that, has done it before, or has a tutorial on how to get that to work, let me know. I had done some practice stuff where I had a sorter attached to the refinery side of things, and it would just supposedly auto drain everything to a point, but it just fills up the cargo container, or it just fills up the connector, and that's it. It just connector fills up, and then that's it, because the sorter stops sending stuff to the connector once the connector's full, and then nothing gets pushed through. So I don't really know. Maybe a sorter on the problem is if you put a sorter on the drone, it will draw from wherever it's coming from, but then it won't let stuff come out. It won't, unless you turn off drain all, and then the base could potentially do that. That may be the solution. So next time we're going to try sorter on the drone, and we'll see if that works. We might also do another time lapse in the next video, adding an additional iron mine drill, just to see if it will help fill those containers up a little quicker, because it is slow. And I think it's because we're refining it so fast. And unfortunately, ore takes up so much less space than the refined metal that, like, I don't know. There you go. That's the problem. Anyways, guys, I appreciate it. Once again, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Give me your thoughts, tips, tricks, brutal opinions. Sorry again about the looping of the last one. And next time we'll sort out the rest of this stuff. And if anything that happens here, you'll see it first. I will catch you later, taters. And yeah, let's see if it lets me wave. Nope, still not. Okay, bye.